Hi guys! So we're doing another real talk video. You've obviously read the title. It's Is the Pandemic Aging You? And the answer is yes. So I have actually been noticing this for the past few months where I feel like everybody I know, including myself, I feel like has aged over this last like 1.5 years. And it's across the board. Like it's not just older people. It's like people my parents' age, and my parents literally, me, younger people. So for example, my nephew Zray, before the pandemic started, I have pictures of him where he was taking care of Mars and my dad was in the hospital. And it was literally, I think, February end and the pandemic happened mid-March, right? And then to see him today, a year and a half later, it's like, man, he's like a different boy, like he's exploded, you know. Or my parents, I feel like they have aged like 5 years in the last 1.5 years at their age. Like it shows so much more, you know. And I sometimes don't see it every day because, you know, when you're living with them and doing stuff, you don't feel it. Of course, you feel that they've slowed down in terms of walking around. Or I really notice it like when we go for their doctor's appointments or whatever, I have to walk ahead and wait for them to come. But when you look at pictures, like I see pictures from like a year ago or 2 years ago, and I'm like, wow. Even with myself, I feel like I had completely aged so much. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, no, you don't look 35. You look like you're in your 20s, which will come in the comments, I'm hoping. Don't say I've aged and I look terrible because I know that. But no. No, I mean, like, I know right now, obviously, I've got my hair colored and all of that. But like when I've not colored my hair or I've not been feeling like the best skin-wise in between when I had like major breakouts. So just dull skin, you know, like feeling very lifeless. And that has happened over like ups and downs over the last year and a half. And you suddenly feel like you've really aged, you know, like even like my gray hair thing like was never an issue until like it got so bad over the last year and a half. Like I was like, oh my God, like this is insane, you know. And I'm sure you're noticing it as well. It's only natural, not just about me, but about yourself and everyone around you, because obviously we have extra stress. We're not eating right. We are, you know, binge eating or eating less. Like I have completely lost my appetite for home food. Like I am just so done with the basic home food because I feel like I'm always home and, you know, I'm just like, like my joy comes from ordering and eating out, which is not healthy. But like, or my appetite is so small, like for lunch, I just barely eat because I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm not burning any calories. I'm not going all over the place, right? So like bad eating habits. So these are all obviously reasons for why this is happening. Poor sleep. We're all sleeping late. I feel like most people, at least like myself, where, you know, you're watching stuff late into the night or scrolling on your phone endlessly on Instagram, watching 200 reels and just being like, Lack of exercise. People are not exercising that much. I have not exercised. Like my only exercise is walking Mars, which is really not an exercise in the last 1 year. Like literally last June, July, I had stopped doing even the home workouts and then I've completely stopped, which is really bad. And you feel like my knees feel like an old person, you know, like when I get up suddenly or when I'm like, oh, my back is sore, I've slept the wrong way. And I discuss this with a lot of my friends and they're like, yeah, you know, I feel like this too. And it's just bizarre because we feel like we're so young and we shouldn't be like feeling that way. But obviously, as someone who used to run, I used to run a lot. I used to work out because I was running, like stretching. I feel like today when I just go to the bank for a walk, which is like, you know, not even much. It's like whatever, 4 or 5 kilometers. And I come back, I'm just like, that's also because of the mask, obviously. But it's just also that you're not used to walking or doing things, right? Like at the moment right now, I'm just literally walking Mars and coming back. Like otherwise I used to walk so much in a day. I used to love walking around. Like I'd be someone that even pre-pandemic would not want to take a cab if I had the option or take the stairs instead of an elevator. But now you don't really walk that much or exercise that much. That's one of the biggest reasons, again, that we feel really blah. And I think the biggest factor is stress. So we all know that stress has, you know, terrible effects on our health and appearance and everything, right? So like when you're stressed out, your skin is not great, your body doesn't feel great, your mind is not great. And all of those factors obviously combined with that is just like a boom explosion, and our body is just like, what's happening to me? The other thing I realized for a lot of people is sunlight. Okay, so if you're someone that lives in an apartment that doesn't have a balcony, that doesn't get a lot of sunlight, you really, really need to like kind of get out, get some sunlight, because that vitamin D is really, really important. And I've seen this in a lot of people. Like over the last 1 year, even my doctor told me that there's people, who have lower levels of vitamin D because people are not stepping out into the sun at all. Now, I was lucky that even in the extreme lockdowns, we have a balcony. So I would stand in the sun on the balcony and, get some sun every day, because I felt like that was really, really important. And I remember that because even when I did my TB isolation, that the doctor had told me that don't lock yourself in the room, get some sun every day for sure, because that's really good for your body. So I've been following that. But that's another thing I feel like people don't do. So yeah, the pandemic definitely is aging us all. There's no question about it. Also, I think just being online, being on devices the whole time, right? Like, so we are so wired. Everybody has a ring light now. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of a ring light and filming, but I'm sure a lot of you that are not creators also have ring lights for your Zoom calls and for, stuff like that, which, I mean, you're sitting in front of a harsh light sometimes for hours on end, many days a week, because you want to look like want people to see you clearly, right? And also, I think just the appearance of seeing people on screen, right? Like, so we're not seeing people in person. For like a lot of the people I know, I haven't seen them in a year at all. I'm only seeing them on a screen or through that. So again, your perception of them, obviously there's also something called the Zoom face, okay, by the way, or like the filter face, which I was reading about, where people have just been seeing people online, right, this last year, and you kind of see that person only through like that option. So if the person is using filters, or if they're using like those touch-up tools on Zoom and stuff, you're seeing that and you're assuming that's the person. And you're not seeing them normally. You're not seeing the pores on their skin. You're not seeing the issues that you would spot maybe, because, maybe even like, I think like even when you wear makeup, like when you see a person with makeup in person, you can still see their skin, right? Like, but when you see them online, I feel like it's a lot clearer and it's easy to blur a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's the other thing where I feel like when we actually go back to the real world and we see everyone face to face, you're going to be like, oh my God, wow, like, like this person has changed so much. And I don't know, I just feel like this is something that is less talked about. My reasoning for doing this video is because I've discussed this at length with my friends, with Weber. But I feel like it's not something we've been prepped for, or people have had conversations about, right? Like we're not, like people are not telling you that, oh, it's okay, your skin's gonna get this way and you can reverse it by doing these things. Or like even in the beauty space, nobody's really talking about it as pandemic aging, right? Like there's, like obviously people talk about normal aging. They talk about like, also for a lot of people, they've done nothing to their skin, right? Like for me, I've had not a single facial or cleanup or anything external done to my skin, like since the pandemic at all. Like it is just like using creams or scrubs or doing my own DIY stuff at home. Or even when I've had acne, it's just doing spot treatments. I haven't got any real treatment. So for people that are actually suffering from some kind of skin issues and need those treatments and haven't got them, obviously their problems are getting worse. So I feel like all these factors obviously contribute to, aging, to our hair, to our skin, to our body, to our joints. But I just feel like nobody's talking about it. We're all joking about it. We're all like, yeah, oh my God, like I look, like I was joking when my hair was all gray, going, I look like a grandma, I look like a grandma. And now I'm like, yay, all my grays are gone. Grays? What grays? But the truth is that they did multiply a lot faster than ever before. And like to a level that I had never seen in my life. Okay. And it was daunting. It was a bit like irritating to see myself in the mirror at that point with, so many grays, because I was like, oh my God, this is me. But I think that's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But it obviously, that was the thing that stood out for me the most. And I didn't have a lot of skin issues, thankfully, over the last 1 year. So I didn't see my skin age as much. I feel like my eyes have definitely aged. So when I look at myself with a mask and not the rest of my face, I'm like, oh yeah, my eyes have definitely aged. I have like whatever the crow's feet, I think they're called crow's feet here, or whatever. Laugh lines had there. Like those kind of things have happened, obviously, which will happen with, my age, obviously, anyways. But I feel like the pandemic has definitely accelerated things. So now, obviously, I have convinced you that the pandemic has aged us all by this point, if you're still here. And I've also scared you, but don't be scared, because it can be reversed, obviously. And I think we just need to be a little aware of our lifestyles. And I think that's why I wanted to do this video. Because we're just going deeper and deeper into the hole if we don't really address it, and if we don't really, work towards the root of the problem. I feel like obviously we can change our lifestyles, because now we know this is not a short-term situation. This is going to fluctuate. Like there are going to be months where, we step out, things are better. Then again, possibly we're going to have lockdowns, or possibly we stuck at home. Or for a lot of people like myself, we're being extra cautious because of older parents or whatever reasons. And not really still stepping out majorly. So there's obviously limited exercise, limited sunlight, all of that, which I feel like we have to be more, rigid with. So like definitely work out, definitely have a skincare routine. Like do not just ignore your skin if your skin is good, because if you ignore it, it's going to go south, and then there's going to be issues, and then you have to reverse all that. So try your best to like do whatever you can to have good skin. Don't ignore your skin, your hair, and don't stress, because this is it, guys. This is happening. I guess the worst is over, hopefully, for us. And now we've kind of learned how to brace this and deal with it at some level, at least. And you just have to accept that and feel like, okay, this is life, and balance out everything else, right? Like, so if you're sitting in front of harsh lights, definitely, moisturize your skin, stay hydrated, eat well. Sleep early, wake up on time, don't just laze around. And, just think about the effects that the pandemic is having on your mind and body, and how you can better that. Because I feel like it's happening and it's going to happen irrespective. But you can actually slow down the pace, and you can reverse things that have already happened now if you're aware of them. So I feel like this is something I wanted to address and talk to you guys about, because I feel like nobody's really talking about it. And I've been reading about it and talking to people about it, and everybody's feeling it, but it's not something we're addressing. So yeah, putting it out there, guys. The pandemic is aging us, and we got to do something about it. So guys, those were my thoughts, or my rant rather, about aging and the pandemic. Comment below if you felt this way, if you are still feeling this way, if you have any solutions, if you feel, how you feel like you've aged or someone around you has aged and you've seen that happen. All of those things, let's have a conversation in the comments and talk about this. You're not alone. We're all in this together, and we're all facing it. So don't panic. Just, eat healthy, as I said, drink a lot of water, get some sun, work out, and yeah, things will get better. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, comment below. As I said, I love chatting with you guys on these real talk videos, because I feel like it's me talking to you about things and us, figuring it out together. And yeah, so comment below with your thoughts on the subject, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.